Well, hello there, and welcome to the fourth round of Season 3 of this F1 2017 Sauber Career Mode. We're at the Sochi Autodrome in Russia, and all the practice sessions have been done, and we've achieved a perfect score throughout and got some very nice resource points. I've already looked at the qualifying objective, and it is 16th place, feeling pretty confident we can do that. Russia's not one of my favourite tracks, but I get on well round here, which is nice, so hopefully we should be able to get through to at least Q2. As for R&D and everything that's going on at the moment, of course, we've got the weight redistribution one coming in, hopefully in Spain. It's a major upgrade. And if we look at the rest of the chassis as well, after qualifying the race, we should have at least another 600, which will be nice, so we can get the final minor one done as well. So another little upgrade there, which might actually potentially get us up to level with Red Bull by the time Spain comes around. As for other teams that have upgraded as well, both Ferrari and Force India have jumped up a little bit, but everyone else that we're sort of chasing haven't. I think actually Toro Rosso might have done something as well, I'm not too sure. Looks like they might have done, but I can't really tell. As for all the units, 43% on the gearbox, and we're halfway through that as well. And we've got we're now on to obviously the second units here for qualifying and the race, all of them underneath 10%, so they will give us quite a lot of decent performance as well. So we'll go to qualifying then and see if we can at least get through into Q2. So then the beginning of Q1 is in the intermediate weather. We'll just have a look to see if it's going to dry up a little bit towards the end. Let's have a quick look, 15 minutes, yes it does. So it is going to, the race is dry, that's fine. But qualifying, you can see that it is going to dry up towards the end of the session. So there's no real point in going out early on. We'll wait until about, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes left and see what the conditions are like between the intermediates and the dry tyres. So whilst we wait for that, we can have a look at the setup just to make sure it is all loaded. Here it is indeed, which is nice. Tyres, obviously, intermediates. What are the dryers looking like at the moment? Yes, still 8 seconds off. Ultra softs and supers as well. We'll jump straight out on an ultra soft to make sure we do get through. So the setup then, we'll drop the fuel out down to probably 4.1, because we might have to do a couple of laps towards the end as the conditions continue to improve. Aero sitting at 7.6, transmission 77, suspension geometry a little higher on the camber, suspension 11.88644, brakes 82 up to 85, thank you, and the bias at 60. Tyres pretty high here, it'll be an easy one-stop race anyway, and the weight distribution is at 6. So we'll have a look at the weather then with 6 minutes to go, see if it is starting to improve. So then just change the tyres around. We've got 5.5 minutes left. The intermediate tyres are now the better ones. I think most of these drivers will be coming back out. So we'll go out on track now then to get a couple of laps in. And hopefully, as long as we don't make any mistakes, we should be through into Q2. So just finishing off sector 3 now on our out lap. Oh, a little bit of spray, and the back end still wants to step out a little bit. So the conditions aren't perfect, but they are definitely dry tyres. So the conditions will, the track conditions, I should say, will continue to improve until the end of the session. So we have to kind of make sure that we nail our laps. So here we go then. Let's see what we can do. So we've just managed to make it through. We set an identical lap time as Felipe Massa, but we managed to do it by about 1.5 seconds actually. But it was a bit close there towards the end. I think some of these guys probably set their ultra soft times a bit earlier. So Lance Stroll has been eliminated along with Magnussen, Kvyat, Pascal Wehrlein and Carlos Sainz. So both Toro Rosso drivers out, as is our teammate, but he's managed to go into 17th. Quickest in that session, not that it particularly matters, was Bottas by Hamilton, Verstappen, Ricciardo and Perez. Palmer up into 7th place as well. He's having quite a good strong to the start to the season. Both the McLarens inside the top 10 as well. So we'll go forward to Q2 then. Not too sure what the weather's going to be. Hopefully it'll be dry. But yeah, we'll give it a go and see what we can do. So congratulations to us, we have managed to make it through into Q3 by some margin as well, at least 0.6 of a second, so that's very helpful. Joining us, of course, will be both the Mercedes, both the Ferraris, both the Red Bulls, both the Force Indias and Nico Hülkenberg. So eliminated then, Stoffel Van Dorn, Palmer, Alonso, Massa and Grosjean. So well done to McLaren, 13th and 15th, and Grosjean as well in 11th. We've at least beaten Grosjean in qualifying. He is our rival at the moment, so that's helpful. Felt like a pretty good lap, to be honest. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. It means we'll be starting, of course, on these tyres into the race. And I'm thinking we might have actually been able to do it on the super softs, to be honest, or got very, very close at least. But we're into Q3 then for the first time this season. So it gives us free rein now. Obviously we will go back out on the ultra softs probably right towards the end of the session as well. So we'll advance to Q3 then and see if we can at least try and beat Hülkenberg again. So just getting the last little bit of heat into the tyres. We will be the final car across the line for our first lap in Q3. Let's make it a good one. So there we go, they made a bit of a mess of sector 3, to be honest, to find a few corners and probably lost a couple of attempts, but I set out to qualify in at least 9th place and beat Hulkenberg. We have managed to qualify 9th and beaten Ocon instead. Hulkenberg's done well to get into 7th. So Vettel will be on pole position, Bottas in 2nd and Raikkonen in 3rd. And we'll be starting from 9th place, which will be the highest it's been so far this season. So very happy with that. We've got good pace then. And yeah, I'm hopeful that we can score a good result come race time. So the resource points for qualifying, this will probably be the highest we've ever had before, 105, which I think is the maximum you can get, to be honest, because we competed in all of the qualifying sessions, overachieved as well, and was penalty free. So we're already over 600, which is very, very nice indeed, which means we can do a minor upgrade after this. And we've managed to pull 10 points ahead of Grosjean as well by completing the qualifying, by getting through to Q3 and obviously setting the fastest lap as well. So very nice indeed. We're starting to pull away a little bit from Grosjean, beat him in the race as well and setting like a faster lap and whatever and keep it free. Then we might be 3 or 4 extra points ahead. As for the team approval, that's continuing to rise with everyone, although obviously Mercedes and Ferrari a long way away, and McLaren continue to lead in that as well. So we'll listen to the voicemail then for the race. That's all we've got to do before we go to the grid. Finishing 13th and beat Grosjean. I think it's very achievable, so very nice indeed. So we'll go straight to the race then, and yeah, see what we can do from 9th place.
We're almost ready to go then. This is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Sauber, and Esteban Ocon, Grosjean, Massa, Fernando Alonso, and Palmer, Van Dorn, Sainz, Pascal Wehrlein, and Daniel Kvyat. Magnussen and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So no grid penalties for everyone then, for anyone then I should say, which I think is the first time this season. So the race strategy again, excuse me, we'll probably overfuel the car quite a bit. How about 5 laps of rich mix? Very nice indeed. Ultras onto supers is probably the correct strategy to go for. No need to set the car setup any differently. Sunny conditions throughout, not much else to look at then. So we'll exit that screen, we'll get the formation lap out of the way, and then get the 4th round of season 3 on the go. Here we are on the grid, build the revs up, let's get a clean first start. Lights out, away we go, lighten up the rears a little bit. Moving up through the gears, looked like I've had a decent start, but Ocon's already passed us all into 10th. I'm going to lose that to Grosjean here as well in the super sauce, but we'll move to the inside with a little bit of space. Oh, it's a Ferrari, it's been pushed out wide there. That's sort of pushed everyone back a little bit. Car's still weaving around. We're in 9th. Let's see if we can get past Ricciardo into the next corner. We can. P8 then. Good start. Oh, fighting for Verstappen here in the final couple of corners. Lap 1 completed. Into Rich Mix as well. Look at that. Look at the speed difference. Oh, Verstappen, I'm here, mate. I actually managed to jump ahead of the Red Bull. Oh, and here comes Ricciardo as well. This could get messy. Break as late as we dare. Up to 7th now. We've got to try and catch up to Hulkenberg. Get his toe. At the inside of Hulkenberg. Oh, give us a space. Made contact before we go. Possibly a little bit of damage on the front wing. So lap 4 completed into lap 5. The front wing is providing a little bit of understeer, certainly around sector 2. However, Jeff's come over the radio and said that both Ocon and Vettel have issues. Ocon is behind us, but you can see that's Vettel ahead of us, so hopefully in the next lap or 2 I'll be caught up and passed him into 5th place. So we've already cut up to Vettel. I'm going to try into the chicane. Sido by Sido, but his issues there, can't keep up with us, so through into 5th place so far. So lap 10, I'm going to be picking out the end of this lap onto the super softs a lap early. I'm also going to change the front wing as well, because we're about a second down on what we normally should be. Let me just get this right. I have. Yeah, we're coming into the pits now then. Super soft tyres, change the front wing. The reason for it is we've got 17 laps. I'm losing about a second a lap less than what I normally would be. So that's basically 17 seconds I'm losing. I'll lose about 8 or 9 seconds here in the pits, so I'll make that time up. So in the long run, the front wing will help us. So yeah, here we go then, see where we rejoin. So coming out the pits, I think we might actually be last, which is a position I haven't been in for a very long time. Vettel was just behind us, who we know has got an engine problem. I'll let him go for now and then get back past him. So we're last. Let's see what we can do. We've got yellow flags ahead, so someone's had a moment somewhere. It's my teammate. The teammate's out, and we've got a VSC out as well. So the VSC's ended, a handful of cars are now in the pits. And that tells you how much time we've lost. Massa has come out ahead of us after his pit stop. He's gone for the ultra soft, so he wants to try and do 16, 17 laps in a set of these. So into lap 13 then, almost half distance, a few more people in the pits. I've realised the reason why Massa's kind of jumped us really, not so much the front wing, although that hasn't helped, but also the fact that he pitted underneath the VSC and so did a couple of others as well. So the challenge of getting well back inside the top 10 has been made a bit harder. I've made a bit of a mistake to turn 2, but the car does feel a lot better now with that front wing change, so at least we can now push on and see what we can do. Oh, we've hit the inside wall and we've really damaged our front wing now. Can't believe I've done that. I try to cut the, not necessarily cut the corner, but it gets such an entrance into the corner there that it gave me a bit of a chance into the final corner. Unfortunately, I've clipped the wall. It's really going to compromise us now. Here comes Science coming past us. Can't really do much about it with this busted front wing. I'm half tempted to pit, to be honest, for another set of ultras. But still a couple of cars ahead. I think I need to make a pit stop, and you never know what might happen. Oh, very wide there with the understeer. Although, yeah, I don't think points are going to be happening now. It's such a shame. So into that 22 or 27. Here comes Ricardo. Past me. He's made 2 pit stops. And that pushes it back down to 12th place. So, yeah, points are not happening here, unfortunately. Now I've got Ocon and Stroll behind me as well, and Ocon is through then. That pushes down to 13th. I reckon Stroll and then the Haas of Magnussen will be able to get passes before the end as well. So we're looking at maybe even finishing this race in 15th place, which is by far my worst result this season. Here comes Magnussen, Rando outside. What a terrible race we've had. 15th place, and Kvyat's behind us as well, and I guarantee he'll get past before the end. Through he goes. 2 laps to go there. No one else is behind us, so we're going to be in 16th place. Jesus. What an absolute change in fortunes compared to qualifying. So just a couple of corners to go then, and we'll be finishing this race in 16th place. Completely embarrassing and not what I wanted. So there we go, then there's the race result. Raikkonen has won, Bottas second, and Perez in 3rd place. Well done to him. That's his 2nd podium in 2 races, so he's got some form at the moment. Grosjean has done very well to get 5th. Vettel has recovered after his engine problem to take 6th. Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Palmer and Ricciardo both inside the points. I reckon I could have ended up around here 5th with Grosjean. I was ahead of Grosjean, to be honest with you, before the race fell apart. So 5th was definitely on. Which is a bit of a shame. Ocon had recovered from his early engine problem as well. Other looks fit, and there we are in 16th place. The only people who managed to beat was Van Dorn and Stroll, who was a lap down. Alonso and Verline both failed to finish. A few drivers made 2 pit stops in their race. Massa, Ricciardo, and I think Hamilton did as well. We'll have a look at the race directive and see if there's any naughty stuff going on. I had a track limit extension on lap 20. Understeer just took me too wide. A few warnings on the 1st lap and 11th as well. Mechanical failure for Verline when Stroll's hit him, which is not very helpful. But yeah, other than that, nothing else really to talk about. We'll have a quick look at the standings then. Bottas leads and continues to lead. Raikkonen now up to 2nd place, tied with Verstappen. Perez up into 4th place, so well done to him. And look at Hamilton down in 6th and Vettel in 7th as well, which is not what I'd expect to see from them. We're down to 11th because Grosjean scored a hell of a lot of points, and unfortunately it's pushed us outside the top 10, and Palmer picked up a few as well, so not good. Not good at all. In the constructors, Mercedes have taken over the lead of Red Bull by the looks of it, and now lead of 113. Ferrari in 3rd on 88. Force India looking good in 4th. Haas now, believe it or not, up into 5th place, jumping ahead of Renault. We're now down to 7th place. Well, we remain in 7th place, but we're already 10 points behind Renault. McLaren in 4th, Toro Rosso over a single point, and Williams still yet to score. So the resource points for the race, this will be quite low to be honest, only 73. And the first driver bonus as well, nice for qualifying, 12 points, but only 7 for the race, but still good in the practice session at least. The rivalry update, yeah, this wouldn't have gone too well to be honest with you. We're now drawing again, so we gained 2 in qualifying, lost 2 in the race. Finished 13th for high, we failed, but we managed to beat Pascal Verline. And the reputation still went up with some of the teams, but down with a few others as well. And finally, the career score for the weekend, which should comfortably see us over the 10,000 mark as usual. 13,000, 5,350 in practice as well, which is very, very nice. We did very, very well in that. So yeah, still looking good in the career score. And we have a classic car event as well, which is very nice, which will help us towards unlocking the ultimate upgrade. So we've got a pursuit at USA Short, or an overtake challenge at USA Short. I don't think I've driven the 2008 McLaren yet, even though it is in the wet. So I think I'll do that one, but I'll do it off camera, of course. So hopefully next time out, all that will be fine. So we'll have a look at the R&D tree then. We've got 729 to spend. To be honest, I might as well wait and do another one of these, because if this fails, I'm going to need 450 straight away to reintroduce that for the next weekend. So I'm not going to do any upgrades. If it does come in, then we will do that. If it doesn't come in, then we've got 450 that we can spend straight away, and hopefully after the weekend is done, have enough to do the minor upgrade as well. So hopefully that will come in, and then we can do another major. If not, we can still do that for the next round after Spain and get a minor upgrade as well. So fingers crossed it does come in, because that would be very nice. As for the power units, all these would have gone up a little bit, obviously. In fact, it doesn't look too bad, does it? ICE is at 15, MGK is at 22, so I rang most of that in Rich. 16, 8 for the energy store, 13 for the turbocharger, and 9 for the electronics. Not too bad, really. And the gearbox is now 4 out of 6 races done, 49%, so that won't cause too much of a problem. So I'll end the episode here then. Quick summary: great qualifying, really happy to get into Q3. As for the race, I'd rather not talk about it, to be honest. Yeah, we damaged our front wing the first time around on the early laps, and it causes a bit of understeer, hence the early pit stop. Working our way back through the field, felt confident for a few points, and then unfortunately I did what Hulkenberg did in Baku in 2017, which was that little right hand there. He cut it just too fine and damaged his car. I've done the same here tonight, and yeah, it completely ruined the race. We were 2-3 seconds off the pace, and to be honest, with 5 or 6 laps to go, I kind of gave up anyway, and was just sort of trundling round, going with the motions, and to finish 16th really isn't helpful. So we'll forget about Russia. It started well, but it's ended badly. Spain is next. One of my 2 favourite, well, Spain, Silverstone, and Bahrain are my 3 favourite tracks, and we've already done Bahrain, done well there, so now it's Spain coming up next, and I'm hoping to bounce back with another solid result. So in the meantime anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you all very soon.